On the road again. Splattered, bullet-ridden car.
Works for me.
Ew.
It can be.
Bonus.
Some places. I will feel more comfortable in driving.
Right. Good point. So that's the reason really why we're going there.
It's the best ever.
Get a feel for what it's like here.
I might have to branch out.
Here's this view.
Here.
Put the last pan away. All the cupboards are shut and latched. Slides are in, things are put away. I cleaned the windshield, and I cleaned the windshield on the car, Michelle. So, or your windows on the car, I should say. One thing that really helps is when you use your checklist, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
We do have some checklists on our website. What we suggest is take those checklists, copy those, and paste them in your notes, like if you have an iPhone. And then in your iPhone, on each one of them, you can put a check mark. That way you can go in and check them all and then clear them all when you're done. After a while, you do get kind of used to doing all this, but still, you could easily forget something because there's so much to do. And there's different things to put away for each and every person.
Bathroom secure.
We're going to stop in Primm, Nevada, and we're going to see Bonnie and Clyde's death car. It's the actual authentic death car. And then we're going to stop at supposed to be a very good burger place. We'll see what it's like. And stop at a couple places that are overnight options. Had to pull forward. There was blocks under the wheels, so we'll get those put away. And I think that's pretty much it. Drive safe.
Drive safe.
Go on to Whiskey Pete's first. That's where the Bonnie and Clyde's death car's at. RV directions. You always make sure it's not over here on the auto directions, and it's on your RV directions here. That has all your measurements. Checked all the air pressure and all the tire air pressure here. We're ready to go. So one thing about a Class A, they're easy to pull in and pull out. Even this at 40 foot. It's just short of 40 foot, 39.6. And when you got some people sticking out, makes it a little hard sometimes. Looks like they're leaving too. Left us just enough room. All right, on the road again. Next exit coming up here is you take a right. It goes to Good Springs. We have a video about, it was just about a year and a half ago when we went to Pioneer Saloon. It's really neat to go see that saloon. You gotta see it for yourself. We would highly recommend going there. And that is this exit right here. There's a big Chevron station right there on the corner. It's got all kinds of gifts and food. all kinds of things. It almost reminds you a little bit of Buc-ee's in Texas. Anybody get excited about seeing a car with some bullet holes in it? In early 1934, Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow stole a V8 Ford and drove it around the Midwest, robbing and killing people. That joyride ended when lawmen punctured the car and Bonnie and Clyde with over 100 armor-piercing bullets. Since then, the location of the Bonnie and Clyde death car has often been as difficult to find as it was when its drivers were alive. The blood-splattered, bullet-ridden car was an instant attraction, touring carnivals, amusement parks, flea markets, and state fairs for over 30 years. For a time, it was in the Museum of Antique Autos in Princeton, Massachusetts. Then, in the 1970s, it was at a Nevada racetrack where people could sit in it for $1. A decade later, it was in a Las Vegas car museum. A decade after that, it was in a casino near the California-Nevada state line. It was then moved to a different casino on the other side of the freeway. Then it went on tour to other casinos in Iowa, Missouri, and northern Nevada. That car was riddled.
I know, it's very interesting.
Complicating matters was the existence of at least a half dozen fake cars around the country, as well as the death car from the 1967 Bonnie and Clyde movie, which was in Louisiana and then Washington, D.C., now is in Tennessee. For the past few years, the real death car has been parked at its home casino in Primm, Nevada. A sizable part of its accompanying exhibit is devoted to letters vouching for its authenticity. This may puzzle visitors who don't realize how rare it is to see the real Bonnie and Clyde death car.
Dad asked him and says, "What do you want?" He said, "The law's shooting the devil out of us." And he says, "All we want's a way to get out of it."
Its doors have been tied shut, and the car is displayed behind panels of glass. The car's Swiss cheese exterior is still impressive and cringeworthy, even if you can't stick your fingers in the holes. Accompanying the car is Clyde's shredded shirt of death, perforated with a number of ragged holes in both the front and back. Clyde's sister, Marie Barrow, has personally signed the inside hem of the shirt to attest to the garment's authenticity. Bloodstains are evident throughout the shirt, although time has faded them considerably. Next to the Bonnie and Clyde death car is a second bullet-scarred car which belonged to gangster Dutch Schultz. He filled its doors with lead so the bullets merely dented its exterior. Since Schultz was assassinated at a bathroom urinal, the car doesn't have the mesmerizing power of Bonnie and Clyde's. But if the casino could ever track down and display that urinal of death.
That was interesting.
That was really interesting. Kind of eerie looking at
Yeah,
those.
kind of put your mind back there to that time.
And didn't realize how young they were.
I know.
Well, let's get to our next stop here. 2 hours and 10 minutes to get there before we can have lunch. Looks like we're gonna get lucky. We don't have a big long line to wait on to get into California. what?
I can't get behind you because there's a line of cars.
I know, and you keep speeding up. Looks like you're trying to get away. Are you trying to escape? Well, that stinks. We were going to stop at a place called Tita's Burger Den. It had really high reviews. People raved it was the best burgers they've ever had. We pulled in and it's closed. Looks like it might be permanently closed. That's kind of sad. Makes you wonder if it was closed because of COVID or not. We saw a place called Eddie World, and when we left here last time, Michelle was really wanting to go to it, so I pulled over. And hello.
What are you doing?
Well, remember last time we came by here and you really wanted to stop, but we were already on the interstate passing by?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, since we're going right by it, we might as well at least stop and go in and check the place out. You saw that great big huge thing of ice cream that caught your eye last time, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go check it out.
All right.
You are so spoiled.
Yes, I am.
You want to start off with seeing what that tastes like?
Works for me.
Ew. Pete's coffee. Our granddaughter loves unicorns. We had no idea this place was like this.
No.
All kinds of things for everybody. Uh-oh.
That sounds kind of good.
Their inside seating is closed. But if you go right over here outside, we got an outdoor patio that you can sit and eat at. Right over where Michelle is. They pretty much thought of everything, didn't
I
they?
know. They have popcorn, ice cream, coffee, jerky, burgers, pizza, salads, sandwiches,
Yeah, rows of candy
rows
everywhere.
of candy, stuffed animals, things for kids.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
And they got gluten-free buns.
Gluten-free
I
buns.
sure hope they remembered.
That kind of looks fakey.
That fakey
We got fries too.
burger looks like.
Gosh, it's big.
We were going to go to another burger place, and then we drove by this, and I remembered that Michelle wanted to stop here last time, so we did. And then what? We didn't even get ice cream.
No, got a burger instead.
Oh, I know what it
I
is.
know, I'm saving it.
We're going to try to make it to Palm Springs. Guess
I'm
what's
saving
there? Sherman's Deli.
No.
What?
Well, yeah, that's there. But I thought we were gonna go.
Oh, there's also the famous date shake.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Really? Over the coconut cream pie?
Well, I'm gonna have coconut cream pie at Sherman's Deli
I'm going to
probably
have both.
once a week at least while we're in Palm
Yeah.
Springs.
All right. Well, hey, these burgers were good.
They were good.
They claim that the classic is kind of like the In-N-Out burger. Not really.
Not really, but
They're much bigger.
yeah,
Well, basically because of the buns. And the gluten-free bun was actually really good.
good.
It was here, actually. And but the burgers are
was a
definitely
good
worth
sandwich,
it.
yeah.
Definitely worth
hmm
it.
And the
So
fries
it's-
were good too.
We got one as a combo so that we could share the fries.
And a drink,
And
and then one sandwich by itself.
Right, so 2 burgers, a fry, and a drink for $20.55.
And it was not extra for your gluten-free bun, which sometimes
Yeah.
it can be.
Bonus.
Some places, but
All right.
yeah, it's not bad.
Well, ready to hit the road?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stop at a place that you may not have thought about that you can do an overnight stay at. And it's just right down the road, only about 19 miles.
Yeah.
Just now leaving Eddie's world, heading to Michelle's world.
So if we end up selling Vinny, then we get maybe a truck and an RV to pull. I will feel more comfortable in driving a truck pulling, at least I think I will be, than driving a motorhome, at least at this point. But I'm really kind of looking forward to something like that. So as much as I really like Vinny and he's been good to us, I kind of hope that this next chapter happens and that we can start adventuring a different way now and a little bit more enjoyable on travel days, and we'll both be in the same vehicle again.
Barstow at that's Tanger Outlet.
Yeah.
And the reason why we pulled in here is because this was one of our choices that we were thinking about staying overnight. It's right next to the interstate, easy on and off. We did call them ahead of time, and it is perfectly fine to stay here overnight. There's big parking places for your RVs as well. We were going to wait and see how much time we had and where we were by the time we got here, because this evening it's supposed to be 10 degrees cooler than it is in Palm Springs area where we're going to stay. We're going to stay at the Morongo Casino just right outside of Palm Springs. I'm trying to think of the name of the town, but anyway, so the temperature there in the evening is supposed to be in the high 40s. When it gets in the 50s and the high 40s, we can pretty much go all night and feel comfortable, and by morning it gets a little cool, and that's fine because we sleep really well that way.
Yeah.
But when you're about that 10 degrees cooler, which it's going to be here, then we'll have to use one of the heaters.
Yeah.
Since it's only a little after 1 in the afternoon, we're going to go on. But
yeah, we got plenty of time.
One thing you got to keep in mind, like with our coach, when you're using the furnace, and you have the slides in the bedroom, that furnace vent is right down up against the bed. So it's a little bit dangerous to have that that close to the bedding.
We probably would, like if we wanted to, we wouldn't run that furnace in the bedroom if we needed it.
Right.
Yeah.
We could run it out in the living room if we needed to. And then the other option is to turn your generator on and run your heat pumps off of your air conditioning unit. So we'd have to run the generator all night and have the heat pumps going on the AC unit. It's easier for us just to go on, since it's just a little after 1 in the afternoon, and not have to do that. Yeah,
I was going to say the heat pumps, though, they don't work as well anything below 40 degrees, right? So if it was to get a little cooler than that, then probably wouldn't work very well anyway.
Actually, right. Good point. Which we really wouldn't be able to use the heat pumps because I think it was supposed to get down to 37 tonight here. So we would have to use just the one heater. Furnace. In the front area, and it would probably keep it warm. But anyway, really it's a timing thing. But just so you know.
And we have time. We want to make it to Palm Springs tonight anyway, so that in the morning we're just right there close, and we can bop on over to the 1,000 Trails and make good timing for check-in.
Has nothing to do with the date shake or the coconut cream pie at Sherman's Deli, right?
You're so funny.
All right. Well, we better get going. We're trying to make it there before dark. Now that we're into this part of the season, it gets dark really early, so
daylight savings.
We're gonna get going.
Okay.
Let's go. Next stop, Morongo Casino, Seminole Drive, Cabazon, California, right up the road from Palm Springs. They say you can stay up to 3 nights there. We called ahead of time. We're only staying 1. And then we'll have a short drive in to check in tomorrow morning so that we can get a good site, because at Palm Springs, 1,000 Trails, it is a first come, first served basis. 2 hours and 24 minutes left, 101 miles. Says we should get there 4:30 p.m. just before dark, as Willie Nelson would say.
On the road again, like a band of gypsies, we rode down the highway.
wondering, why are we going back to California if we're looking for an RV? Doesn't California have high sales taxes? True. What we're hoping to do is go on the other side of the line there in Arizona and get our truck and our RV both. So why are we going to California? Well, a couple reasons. One, we already had reservations made for the Palm Springs area with our membership. And since it's so late, and since we found out about this buyer so late into it, we can't really be making any changes on our reservations right now, because a lot of this southwest area is booked up when it's this close. You got to book these things in advance so that you can get a spot, and that's what we always do. We had already tried to make one change and we couldn't because it was booked up. So that's the reason really why we're going there, and it's going to work out one way or another. It'll work out well. We got a cabin rented. Cabin's kind of pricey. One thing to keep in mind, you cannot rent a cabin through your Thousand Trails membership and stay after your like with our campground membership. We're staying in our RV for 21 days, then we have to be out 7 days to go back in. Therefore, we can't rent a cabin either after that 21 days. So how are we doing it? We're renting the cabin directly through the campgrounds and not through our membership. So we're paying a regular monthly rate, and it's actually about $1,600 for the cabin for a month. We reserved it for 2 months, and hopefully we won't need it for those 2 months. We're going to try to really try very hard, as we have been, to get our RV and truck, and we still don't know exactly what it's going to be. We've got a couple options and just have to see what it all boils down to. Averaged 10.4 miles per gallon. It's not too bad, not too shabby, up and down all those mountains. Quite a few RVs parked here at this casino, and a lot of semis as well. And we arrived just right at 4 o'clock. There's a lot of RVs parked here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8. Can't see on the other side of these semis how many's over there, but yeah, this works out well. Yeah.
Oh, they even got solar panels. Their jacks down.
Got the solar out. Well, we're gonna go right up the road here next to another outlet mall for the famous date shake. Michelle wants to have that before supper.
Yes.
What
because
in the world?
They close in 45 minutes, and I don't know if we'll get to it tomorrow before we leave.
You know, we are going to be in this area for quite a long time.
That just means I get another one then.
Okay. What are we going to do with you? Feed you date shakes. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Well, here it is. Called Hadley. All we know is they have date shakes. Right?
And they're good.
Very good. We might have had one once.
Yes.
Okay, we already know they're good.
Large date shake.
Ooh. We even got date bars.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
But is it good?
It's very good, but what's with the teeny tiny skinny straw?
I don't know.
It's the best ever.
Good morning. And drum roll, please. It's National Drummer Day. It's one day that can be beat.
Woke up, wasn't too bad. It was a little chilly, so we just fired up the generator and turned on just our zone 1 heat pump off the AC. It warmed it up pretty quick.
Yeah.
We stuck a couple blocks underneath the tires on this one side just to drive up on those and get it just a little level for the night so we weren't rolling off our bed. Making a quick check here. I guess check-in at Palm Springs is 8 a.m. We didn't realize it was that early. We don't have far to go. We're just going down the road here. I'm gonna pull off the blocks and put the blocks away and we'll take off. At least we don't have very far to drive today. We have about 48 minutes left to drive. 32.3 miles, a little bit further than I was thinking. I think that's because when we were coming here last night, I saw a sign that said Palm Springs, like 22 miles, and I forgot that Thousand Trails Palm Springs is actually in Palm Desert, which is a little bit
After 1 mile turn.
further down the road. This is where we came for our maiden voyage 2 years ago, and we just love this place, so we're happy to be back.
Any site that doesn't have a site reserved, obviously, or rope crossing is available. Right?
Okay, all right, sounds
Open
good.
the gate.
So I'm going to take a stroll through here just so you guys that have not been here before can kind of get a feel for what it's like here. Some of these sites have a concrete pad, some of them are just sand. We had no issues with this. Our very first time driving, pulling the car, getting around in here, making these turns. Never did have to disconnect, so you shouldn't have any issues. And we're, you know, again, our motorhome's 40 foot. I'm gonna go talk to Michelle and see if maybe we can get this concrete site. That way we can keep the RV clean easier while we're preparing it for the buyers. And I'll just take everything with the car up to the cabin. That'll be fun. Think this site will do?
Yeah, it's a good site.
Thought it would be good to have a concrete pad so that when we're cleaning it and everything, we're not tracking sand in and out.
Right. Plus, I actually like this wall versus the other wall. Just, I don't know. It didn't look as
The wall looked
inviting.
at you wrong?
Yeah, it didn't look as inviting over there.
All right, well, we better finish getting hooked up if you want
Yeah.
that coconut cream pie.
Are we going to go there for lunch or
I don't know.
dinner?
Your choice.
Okay. Or both. Branch out.
good. How you doing?
This is deep dish Marionberry cheesecake.
I thought it was a pie.
Well, it is. Beep beep.
This is another place that we feel like is home. In Palm Springs, our maiden voyage. Same place, 2 years later.
Yeah.
We had our trip to Sherman's Deli.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle decided to try something else instead of her coconut cream pie. It was good, but she regrets not getting her coconut cream.
Coconut cream's still the bomb.
Oh, love walking by
Smells good.
campers when they're cooking out. Always smells so good.
Yes.
Why does everything always smell better when somebody else cooks it? You ever notice that?
Look at the view. We can
Here's
kind of
our-
see that.
Our view. Here's this view.
Yeah.
It's water. We'll catch you next week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Let's call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up. See you next week.